Today I'm going to talk a little bit about ecological literacy and ecosystem function. I call it managing our way to mulching on a global scale. Everything on Earth exists in one massive ecosystem that depends on the function of 4 processes: an effective water cycle, mineral cycle, community dynamics, which is biodiversity, and energy flow. And within Earth's ecosystem are different climates, which vary on a scale from non-brittle, which is humid, to very brittle, which is arid. This scale reflects how rainfall and moisture is distributed throughout the year. So not how much rainfall there is, but how moisture and rainfall is distributed throughout the year. Non-brittle environments are constantly humid, and brittle environments go through a short rainy season followed by a long dry season. Now, environments at either end of this scale respond completely differently to the same influences. When we rest land in non-brittle or humid environments, it will recover. But resting land in brittle or arid climates like this one leads to desertification. And this is because there are millions of microorganisms that break down plant material, and they are activated by moisture. So in humid areas, microorganisms and the other little organisms breaking down plant material are constantly breaking down vegetation. But in brittle environments, during those long dry seasons, something else is needed to provide the moisture that activates the microorganisms so that they can begin breaking down the old vegetation. These brittle environments are the world's grasslands, and they make up about 2/3 of the planet's land mass. They rely on a symbiotic relationship between plants, herding animals, and predators to survive. Just imagine all the different shapes and sizes of hooves and feet of all the herding animals in the world, and how different they are. They have each been perfectly designed by nature to impact soil. Here in Africa we have animals from, let's think about impalas, tiny sharp little hooves, which are ideal for breaking up the soil surface and trampling down small plants. With their delicate mouths, they're designed to nibble softer grasses, and we go through every single size and shape of feet and hooves and mouths and dung, from impala to buffalo to kudu to sable to guinea fowl scratching to elephants. And when we get to elephants who eat coarser grasses, as their big flat feet trample down the vegetation to help cover and protect the soil, while at the same time they're aerating and fertilizing it. While this is all going on, gazillions of organisms, microorganisms, are being activated by the moisture that they find in the animal's guts, dung, and urine. And then they can begin breaking down the plant material. Now, timing is vital. When herds stay for too long, plants get overgrazed. But if herds don't bunch together and don't stay long enough, the soil doesn't get mulched. The timing is perfected by predators. And pack hunting predators' job is to keep herds bunched together and on the move so that they're always flowing with the unpredictable variables going on around them all the time. And this ensures and guarantees the health and survival of the whole. Human management is causing disaster, and one of the biggest symptoms of that is that Earth's brittle environments simply no longer have the balance of herds and predators that are needed to keep them alive. And this is resulting in increasing desertification and its mounting symptoms, which most of us are experiencing some, one, two, or all of. Increasing droughts, floods, poverty, poaching, wildfires, pandemics, economic collapse, social breakdown, mass emigration to cities, violence, and climate change. Those problems that I've just listed fit into three categories. They're either social, financial, or ecological. And they are the only three things human beings manage. We manage human societies, economies, and nature. Everything else is what we make or produce, from our food to spacecraft, using tools and technology. And unlike the things we manage, nothing we make can self-organize. And if anything we make or produce causes us problems, we can easily change it or stop making or producing it. But everything we use or consume comes from nature. We are nature. But when we make decisions, we treat our societies and our economies as being separate from the natural world. We need an urgent global shift from the current copy and paste, reductionist management paradigm and mechanistic treatment of the ever-present, inseparable, self-organizing complexity of societies and nature, and we need to shift to a holistic worldview where our management reflects the fact that we are inseparable from the living complexity of Earth's ecosystem. Nobody can ever predict or replicate the complex social, economic, and ecological dimensions almost every human action or policy involves. So, no practice, action, or policy should be even discussed or adopted without first considering the context we're making the decision in and the unique complexity being impacted. Can you predict what people will do or spend tomorrow and on what, which will affect the environment somewhere at some point? And can you tell what nature will do? No, we cannot predict, control, or stop these things. Globally, world leaders are being advised by narrowly trained experts pushing for solutions in their specific fields of expertise. And they're arguing about different actions or practices, which just ends in absolute chaos because there are no experts in managing complexity, facilitating governments to filter that siloed expert advice to ensure that the advice and the policy decisions that they carry through will simultaneously cater for the complexity of human society, nature, and the national economy, which every policy will impact. We know why our management is causing problems, and we know how to fix it. But the change involves a global, conscious shift to making decisions and policies in a far broader, holistic context, and first running them through the guiding, filtering process of the holistic management framework, so that we are always catering for the complexity of our decisions and connecting the stability of our societies to the living world. We also need people to be ecologically literate so that we can understand the urgent need for mulching on a global scale and the importance of using a new biological tool in brittle environments, which is the correct animal impact or the holistic planned grazing process of livestock, which is already being successfully used by holistic managers all over the world. And they are regenerating ecosystems for people and wildlife using this tool and this decision-making framework. And I'm actually at the Africa Centre for Holistic Management in Vic Falls, and you can see on this land we use a management herd of livestock lending a hoof to regenerate the land. You can see my animals in the river down there. But this land, you can see the stability of the riverbanks. We have very, very clean. You can see the water's crystal clear because our rainfall is effective. So we have an effective water cycle, mineral cycle, increasing community dynamics and energy flow through that. And about 5 minutes ago, there was a big herd of elephants just through there. They've moved off, obviously, because I'm making a bit of noise. But yeah, we can fix our planet.